Okay, the next thing, this is something really dear to our hearts at school, reading. Reading is the one skill that once put in motion, it feeds itself, and so it's quite right that we prioritise this at East Whitchell. Reading literally changes lives. Every single other subject depends upon reading. Our future success in life strongly correlates to reading ability. And I've got a couple of my favourite quotes. This one's from Albert Einstein about the importance of fairy tales, and we read fairy tales a lot at the school. And this lovely one from Dr. Seuss here, and it really is true. The more that you read, the more things you will know, and the more that you learn, the more places you will go. A couple of other really interesting statistics for you. You know, if you look at this child who reads for longer each day, it really does make a hugest difference. And apologies if on the video you can't see these, but I will attach the PowerPoint separately so that you can have a closer look. And when we're talking about reading, by the way, we are talking particularly initially about you reading to your child. The more you can read to your child, the better. There is, I'll just go to the next one. Yeah, again, some research around the impact on mental well-being as well. And I found this really interesting in an article in the Observer about how children are reading even less, than they were previously, which is really concerning. But I want to reassure you that that doesn't happen at East Whitchell. We have developed a East Whitchell reading journey in Spine, and this means that we begin in the younger years with a daily story time, and this is made to be a really magical, special time of the day, with really high quality books that we share with the children. And this sits alongside a really rigorous phonics scheme to teach the children the blocks of how to read. And you will find, you'll be astonished actually how quickly your child will pick this up. Then we move on to something called Book Talk. This is a daily reading session where every child has their own copy of a novel that we read together for 20 minutes every single day. Your child, should they be with us, will have read 30 carefully chosen, beautiful novels by the time they leave us. Each one has been handpicked because it teaches us something about life, it has rich language, or it brings out strong emotions and ability to empathise with others. Examples include Wonder in Year 6, which is about a young man with facial disfigurement. We read classic novels as well, so there's a really rich variety of the reading diet that we have here. Running within this, we have two spines running throughout. We have a big push on fairy tales because of their importance in terms of understanding structure of stories, etc. And we also have a spine that's all about looking after our planet, ecology, because it's part of our identity as a school, educating today for tomorrow's future, learning today for tomorrow's future. Beside this, we also have two wonderful library areas, and they're well stocked with quality books, and we try and top that up every year. We do a bit of fundraising for that from time to time. And once we have children up and running with the blocks of reading, the bits where they're able to begin to decode, we keep them reading by incorporating reading into every lesson and every subject where we can. So this may be in a science lesson about light, for example, they would read something about light as part of that lesson. This then means that the process of reading becomes so effortless for them that they can make that shift from learning to read to reading to learn. Very subtle difference. And this, of course, prepares them so well for the next step of their educational journey. So please read to your child, read with your child every single day. We will do it in school, but if you do it as well, oh my goodness, the power is just astonishing, and it really does make a difference. I've got a couple more quotes there. This one's very interesting because I can't know what it's like to, for example, you know, to live in India or to travel to the North Pole. I can't know what that's like myself personally, but I can read a book about it, and therefore I can empathise with the character and almost be transported there. So reading is just so incredibly powerful. Okay, so far we've had work with us, try not to compare your child, and then read with your child. We're going to move on with something, you know, forgive me, many of you will know about this already, but life really is about discovering this amazing place that we call home. Children who do well at school have a breadth of experiences to draw upon. They've had that gorgeous experience maybe of catching tadpoles or knitting with grandma or going fishing, or all of those doing things and talking about things make a really big difference to children's vocabulary and their knowledge and understanding of the world. And this then enables them to make links and connections and build a better web in their brain. So if you imagine, the more a child knows, the easier it is for them to know more, because the learning has something to stick to. And to give you an example of this, so if a child sees a bus and the adult talks to them, oh look, it's a bus, it's a vehicle, it's a mode of transport, it's got 4 wheels. And then they see maybe a car, and that's also a vehicle, and that's also transport, although that's usually private transport rather than public transport. And it also has 4 wheels. And then they learn about a quad bike, and that's interesting, because you've only got 1, but it's still got 4 wheels, and it's still a mode of transport. And then you come to school and you learn about quadrilaterals. Immediately for quadrilaterals, you've got the idea of quad meaning 4, which links back to your quad bike, which links back to your car, which links back to your bus. So that child who's had all of that experience of looking at those things and talking about them with an adult has something to hook new learning onto, and it makes it potentially much, much more powerful. And it needn't be expensive either. Got some gorgeous photos here. This little girl has just made a cardboard box car. You know, these experiences really do make a difference. And this here, this is my son, who's actually sort of up here now. He got, and if you've never done this, please do it, it's really good fun. We got an owl pellet, and we dissected the owl pellet, and we managed to put together a skeleton of what we think was possibly a vole. But you know, rich experiences like that really do add to a child's ability to learn. And my son insists we've still got that in a frame in our house, so he insists